Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video I'll be showing you how I make scrunchies with this big elastic. This elastic would measure 0.75 as the inches, and I'm also using satin fabric. The measurement that I used for my fabric was 58 inches. You can make yours 29 inches in length if you don't have enough fabric, but I wanted this to be full, so I used 58 inches for the fabric. And the width of the fabric measured 7 inches. So in total, my fabric was 58 inches in length and 7 inches by the width. And then I'm going to join the edge of the fabric because I like the burrito method. That's the method that I'm showing you how to make today with the large elastic. So I'm going to sew over to close this end so that I get a round look. If you like this video, remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. This is me sewing it. Once I'm done, I cut off every thread and then I showing you where I just sewed. I'm going to use my finger to press the seam open so it lays flat because this is a big scrunchie. I didn't want anything bulging. So after laying that flat, I put where I just sewed laying on the table. That's the wrong side of my fabric, in case you're wondering. On the table, then I'll pick the top of my fabric and then I fold it in the middle so it's away from the other part of the fabric, like the way I'm doing now. I fold it 1, 2 and 3, just the top part of the fabric, and then I bring the top to the bottom, and that's how I'm going to sew. This method is called the burrito method. It's pretty easy, it's fast, it helps you sew so many scrunchies at a time. So I pick the top. This is showing you the part that I sewed back on the table for reference, and then I pick the top of the fabric, fold it over and over again, and then place it in the middle, bring the top to the bottom, and then I'm going to sew it all the way around. But while I'm sewing this, I'll be sewing on 0.5 inch, and remember to back stitch so you can lock your stitch so it doesn't unravel after you've done everything. And while I'm sewing, because I'm using a big elastic which measured 0.75, I'll be leaving a wide space that will be the width of 2 of my fingers. So this is what I'm doing. I fold the fabric in the middle and then I sew all the way down so that I do not sew on my fabric in the middle. Then I pull to be sure that I get that I'm not sewing on the middle fabric. So I pull, bring the top and bottom together, and then I sew. Please, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. And if you're making this for business, go ahead and make that money. So I keep sewing all the way till I get to almost the part where I started, and then I leave a space so that I can bring all my fabric out together so I can pass my elastic and then sew up that path. So you see, as we go along, I keep sewing and pulling, sewing and pulling. Guys, remember to like my video, share and subscribe. Thank you. So I put it in the middle, bring the top and the bottom together, and I sew. And I kind of use my hand to feel so that I do not sew the fabric that's in the middle. Yes. So I sew all the way till I get to almost the end of the fabric, and I'll show you how the space that I left so that I could bring my my fabric out after sewing. And this is the burrito method. It is pretty easy, it is fast, and you can sew bulk scrunchies for your business using this method because you just have to sew and then pull out, pass your elastic, the same for 5, 10, 15 fabrics that you cut out at a time. Yeah. So I sew and I'm almost at the end of where I started from. You see me adjusting my fabric, and then I sew there, and then here's where I'm going to show you the space, what the measurement is. And I just went with 2 fingers. I put it and then I mark the spots, sew, back stitch to lock my stitch, take it out, and then I cut all my threads. And this is me bringing out the fabric from the opening that I left. Remember that I left opening. Please remember to leave opening while you're making your own scrunchie, so you can bring all the fabric out just the way I am doing it. So I'm bringing all my fabric out. Yes, so once I'm done, I'm going to be showing you the elastic that I'm using. This I used 8 inches for the length, but this elastic was 0.75, not up to 1 inch, but that's the size of the elastic that I used. But the length I went with 8 inches, because with this scrunchie you would just use it to pack your hair just once on the hair, and if your hair is very thin, you might be able to use it twice. But if your hair is full and you don't want any craze, then you just use this once. So I pin my elastic and then pin it down to my fabric to hold it in place. Put my pin on the other side of my elastic, and I pass it all the way over till I bring it out on the other side. So I keep pushing my elastic till it gets to the other side, like the other side where I started from, where I started passing it through. That's what I am doing. Remember to leave me comments in the comment section if you have any questions that I can help you with. I've made so many scrunchie videos, but in those videos I've used small elastic, and this is for a change. I'm using the big elastic, and I also do this for my business. So I wanted you guys to see how it's done when you use the big elastic. So I just go to the other parts and I'm taking out my pins, holding my elastic in place so it doesn't get lost or doesn't go back into the fabric. I pull the elastic so I have what I'm going to sew. Remember in my other video, I always tie my elastic, but because this is a big elastic, I'm going to be sewing. So do not sew like that. Sew it over. Place one elastic on top of the other one. Do not sew it like this. It's going to be bulky or standing up. Place one up on top of the other. That's the way to sew, and then you can sew as many times as you want. So for me, I like to use a pin to hold the elastic in place while I put it in my machine. And when I do that, I put it in my machine ready to sew. Then I place my needle. I manually, like I use my hand to put the needle on the elastic, push it in, then I take out the pin because I do not want to sew on my pin. And I sew back and forth 3 to 4 times just to be sure that my elastic is in place. You can use straight stitch, you can use a zigzag stitch, whatever stitch you want to use at this point you can use. And this is me closing my fabric. I'm going to close my fabric as closely to the edge of the fabric as possible after sewing my elastic. So this is what I'm doing right now. I'll show you what I mean. I'm closing the opening that I left to pass my elastic, and here we go. Just take your time, as slow or as fast as you like, and make sure everything is neat and clean. I'm cutting out all the other threads. My fabric was 58 inches by 7 inches wide. Yes, so this is how thin it is, and my elastic was 8 inches by the length and 0.75 inches for the width. That was the size of the elastic that I used. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you like this video, please leave me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share my video. Thank you. So this is me arranging now. I'm fluffing it out and it looks pretty good. It was giving what it's supposed to give, and I tried it on my wrist that I like to do always. Yeah, it looked so good, and I'm liking the fabric. Yeah, so this is how big and full this scrunchie looked. Like, it was so big and full. Yeah, this is like the extra large fabric. Remember guys, to like my video, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is me showing you what it's going to look like if you want to make a double fold. Like, share, and subscribe, and thank you. See you in my next one. Bye.